The Corvette has had some interesting battles over the years in IMSA.
Oh, look at that in the pit lane!
The more interesting part is they did really well with the front engine rear wheel setup against their mid and rear engine counterparts. But in 2020, they decided to change it up by making the Corvette a mid-engine rear wheel drive. And you've probably seen it on the road and mistaken it for a British supercar. From 2020 to 2023, Corvette Racing used the Corvette C8R, but then had to retire that model from IMSA because of the change from GTE to GTD, which means they had to shift from the C8R to the Z06 GT3R. While they race it as a factory team, qualifying customers can also buy it for a price tag of $735,000. With that, the customer team gets access to the Corvette Racing team support truck if anything goes wrong on the track. As of right now, aside from Corvette Racing, AWA is the only customer team going to run the Z06 GT3R. In terms of cosmetic and aerodynamics, there isn't much difference between the GT3R and the road car that it's based off. Aerodynamically, the nose has not changed much from the road car except for using some extra fog lights in this area here, and opening up that front bumper a bit for cooling and aerodynamics, and extending the front splitter. Then, they widen the front fender for larger wheels, and to help with bringing some of that heat out. Then the ground effects are far more aggressive, maximizing the low pressure area under the car. Then, the biggest change is in the rear, adding a larger rear wing and adding a more efficient diffuser. Then there is the engine. It's a 5.5 liter flat 8 floating around 500 horsepower. Yeah, it's not a V8, which feels weird to say, right? But it does come straight out of the road car, which means it keeps the internals like the crankshaft and the connecting rods. Unfortunately, they haven't released much on engine specs, but Corvette Racing uses racing in general to develop their engines for road use. So I assume that things like the cylinder heads, valves, and other things like that would be proprietary but within the rules of the GT3 class. Thank you for tuning in on this quick bite about the Z06 GT3R, and I'll see you in the next video.